If you think your wife is confused because she's told you she doesn't know how she feels, she says she loves you but isn't sure if she's in love anymore, she says she needs space to think, then you've been lied to. Now, I'm not saying she's doing it deliberately, so don't go accusing your wife, but what if she's not confused at all? What if she's just tired? Not physically, but emotionally. Because here's the truth. Most men misread exhaustion as confusion and end up responding in a way that's going to push her further and further away. So in this episode, I'm breaking down the difference between confusion and emotional drain because they look similar on the surface, but they require completely different responses. Stick with me because once you see the difference, being able to recover your relationship and get her emotions engaged with you in a positive way gets a whole lot easier. One of the simplest ways to understand this is that confusion still has emotional energy in it. If she's confused, she may still ask questions. She may go back and forth with you, debate with you, have those little arguments even. But emotional drain is simply flat. Flat in the sense that she's quieter than usual. It kind of just feels neutral. You're going to get your favorite answers from her like, I don't know, or I'm just tired. When she says, I don't know how I feel, you may start to panic. But what it really means is, I don't have the energy to sort through this. It boils down to being disengaged. Confusion for her is like a compass spinning in circles because the polarity has been reversed. Emotional drain is like your iPhone battery, or Android, or Google Pixel, whichever phone crowd you're in, but your phone battery's at 3%. The compass, or the confusion, is active stability, but the battery drain, which is her emotional drain, is on the brink of complete shutdown, if not already at 0%. If she were truly confused, you would still feel some friction. You would have those spirited debates. But when she is drained, you feel emptiness from the other side of the table, and that can really put you into a panic more than constant fighting would. And this situation is not unique at all. It is often the similar pattern in many marriage problems where you completely feel blindsided to the level of disengagement that she can get to without you really even knowing. I've had many clients experience this similar pattern, and they ask me, like, if this was such a problem and she was feeling this emotionally drained, why didn't she tell me sooner? If you're going through this right now and have asked yourself that question, let me know by hitting the like button or throw a comment below. But the answer to that is as obvious as it seems that if she would have just told you the emotional drain was getting so bad, you could have done things to fix it then. But she doesn't become emotionally drained overnight. Honestly, it builds over months, sometimes years. And the tricky part is that things add up. All the little things add up. And they're camouflaged by the societal norm of, oh, that's just how marriage is after a while. These little things I'm talking about are conversations you never resolve, you becoming complacent over time and not making her feel heard. She's going to tell you something important about how she feels and you're listening, but like not really because Monday Night Football is on and you're staring at the TV and she's just talking. Eventually, she just kind of stops arguing. Things remain cordial, and a lot of the time, it's what I mentioned earlier. You brush that off and chalk it up to, hey, that's married life. But when this becomes the new norm over a period of time, again, that's not set in stone. That can be months or even years. And you're not doing your job of leading the relationship properly as a man, she's going to start moving down that scale from confusion all the way down to emotional drain. Remember, in confusion, there's friction. So when that friction starts to disappear, you think, great, she stopped fighting with me, so maybe things are just calming down now. This is the biggest mistake that most guys make, because most of the time, if she has stopped fighting, she's just conserving what little emotional energy she has left. But if you call that a win, because it's at least peaceful, you don't realize how quickly she will get to a state of exhaustion emotionally. And that is where it truly snowballs. The one thing you don't want to do is, and this is the Achilles heel of all relationships that go down in flames, you don't want to start trying to solve her exhaustion by throwing a whole bunch of effort at her. You get to a point where you can clearly sense her distance and her emotional flatness, and you think, oh crap, like now is the time to pull out all the stops and show her that I care. That just pours kerosene onto the fire because she's already disconnected emotionally to a certain point. And when you try to drag her into all these conversations because now you're ready to make things right, her nervous system is already feeling unsafe. You can't try to get her into these conversations to then logic her way out of her emotional exhaustion. If someone hasn't slept in 3 days, you don't sit them down and give them a PowerPoint presentation about why sleep matters. You let them rest. Emotional drain is the same. Kick-started intensity on your end is not going to refill her battery. One of my favorite analogies to simplify this is think of your marriage like a shared emotional bank account. Every interaction either deposits energy or withdraws it. And this is how the emotional statement would look like. Pressure from you, withdrawal. Repeated heavy talks when she's disconnected, withdrawal. Walking on eggshells so you don't fight with her, withdrawal. Seeking constant reassurance on where she stands, withdrawal. Being a roller coaster emotionally because you're scared of losing everything, big withdrawal. Let's look at the other side of the statement. Being calm, emotional predictability, deposit, deposit. Having self-regulation, deposit. Showing up as yourself and having lightheartedness, deposit. Being the leader in your relationship, that is an absolute auto deposit. You can see the pattern of what really matters. The instinct for us guys is, and I've told like the story many times about things I have done, including the writing 100 things I love about her. What we do as guys is we try to make this one big grand gesture or one big deposit to get things back on track once we realize things are slipping away and we realize that she's actually disconnected. That does not work at all. You have to first stem the bleeding by cutting off making the withdrawals. If you keep treating her emotional drain like it's just confusion and you keep doing the little withdrawals, you're going to end up with something like this. You initiate another serious talk, she's going to feel added pressure and disengage with you further. You sense that, and you're going to panic more and rapidly increase her disconnection until she wants out. Because the more exhausted she becomes, the less emotionally available she can be, even if that part of her still cares. It's as simple as that. That's why all the amazing grand gestures and expensive jewelry work in movies to smooth things over, but in real life, not a chance. You have to become a source of emotional stability instead, and ultimately, the leader of the relationship. That is the key to getting her emotions working back in your favor. If you take one thing from this video, understand that you don't rebuild attraction by demanding energy from somebody who has none. You rebuild it by becoming a place where energy feels safe again. You stop trying to mine and extract clarity and reassurance from her, and you have to embody the emotional steadiness and take responsibility for where you've been falling short. If this resonates with you, if you recognize yourself in this dynamic, then the path forward is not about trying harder. And if you want a deeper breakdown of how to build emotional safety specifically, which is the foundation that restores energy in your marriage, go watch this video on why your wife doesn't feel safe next. That video will build directly on what we discussed here because emotional drain is often just the symptom. Lack of emotional safety is the root. So you can check out that video above me for more on the root cause. But the very best thing you can do to time collapse saving your marriage is to go watch my free Relationship Rebuild Masterclass that is linked in the description below. It's going to walk you through the step-by-step blueprint to give you the fastest way to be able to rebuild your leadership and lead her back to reconnection with you. I break down what truly matters in saving your marriage and how to get you where you want to be without having to convince her of anything. So again, that link is down in the description and the pinned comment, and you can go watch it for free today. If this video helped you out, go ahead and give the like button a tap and subscribe to the channel as well. See you in the next episode.